Poverty and hunger continue to be a serious problem in many nations around the globe. Now, thankfully, there are some amazing people in the world who are doing something about it, including some folks right here in Lethbridge. Joining us today is Dr. Daniel Zopoula. He is the lead pastor of Mid-City Church here in Lethbridge, also an archbishop in the Communion of Evangelical Episcopal Churches, and the founder of Bridges of Hope. So good to have you with us, Daniel.
Hello, so good to be with you.
Always good to have you on. Bridgesofhope.ca. Daniel, can you explain what your organization is all about?
Well, we Bridges of Hope is an international network of development agencies, and we connect with like-minded agencies in order to bring about profound change in the world, and in order to alleviate poverty and hunger.
hmm So
Mm.
people come to you, right? I mean, and they get some help to get their charitable organization started, and there's probably a lot that goes into that. I mean, there's some government red tape typically that needs to be, done, and you also offer some leadership coaching and training in how to market their organization and how to raise funds. That's a big part of it, right? All this kind of stuff, helping people around the world takes money.
It does take lots of money, and indeed, what we do again, we network with like-minded agencies. We do have many and various projects, and our we have a board of director that oversees the organization as well, and we partner with churches, other NGOs, and then we have some people who they're just like-minded people who really have, some of them want to invest in a different area, in a specific area. Maybe say you are a foundation who want to invest in a particular area of the world, maybe South America, and so we network together to get there. And there are some organizations and some people who want our help to help them register their charity and so on. That too, I do spend a lot of time personally helping them, walk them through that, and coaching people in fundraising, simplifying fundraising, and teaching them how to raise funds, so we make fundraising simple, because every Canadian, every American, everyone around the world want to make a difference, and there is a way to collaborate and make a difference.
hmm Well, what are some of the countries you're working in right now?
Like Canada is one thing. You heard about Youth One,
hmm
and that's one
Yeah, Youth One right here in Lethbridge.
in
Yeah.
yes, and again the youth, and then in Carlson we have something called Epics Youth. They see incredible amount, like hundreds of youth per week. They're fed and cared for. We help them integrate, and we create a healthy environment for them to connect with mentors, and we help them with their homework if they need homeworks, and some of them are just hungry. We
Mm.
feed them as well. In Brooks, we have another center there for youth. It's called OYO One Youth Center. It's really incredible about providing mentorship for young people in that community, and the our work is not just in Canada. Our work is also in the United States, and it is also, yeah, same thing, same program in the United States as well as in places like in West Africa, East Africa, Central, pretty much about 30 different countries that we have been able to network with and to touch. And we are seeing an incredible difference again. And recently, one of the I launched a new program called Healthy Child Africa. And Healthy Child Africa, the idea was to focus on ending hunger, because I believe poverty we will always have with us. It's nearly impossible to end poverty, and it's so relative.
Yeah, you kind of want to eliminate the extremes if, because you don't want to see people dying. But there's always going to be a need there, right? Jesus speaks of that, right? The poor you'll have with
Yes.
you always, right? In that sense. But it's up to us, though, to, get involved and do something about it, right? So you
Ah,
mentioned a scarcity of food in some cases, or water, clean water anyway. And
yeah.
so that's a very real need that needs to be met. And it probably goes deeper than that. There's of course, spiritual needs as well, right?
Absolutely, and that's it. Poverty is it could be a multi-generational, multi-system. So, like we will have it with us. Like it could be spiritual poverty. Some people, they impoverish when they impoverish in many ways. We believe, as a pastor, I believe with meeting Jesus, the way of Jesus is the best possible way of being and living and becoming. And I believe when people don't know the Lord, they do suffer. And it's something that there's so much liberty that come when people meet Christ as their personal Savior. Where spiritual poverty can manifest in various form. Obviously, when when people are spiritually famished, they try to feed from all the wrong places. It could be religion, it could be the internet, it could be addiction, it can be all those forms. But in Christ, there is liberty, there is freedom that people get. But there is also a different form of poverty. For example, in families, we have impoverished more and more. Mom and dad are separated and not there for
Hmm.
the kids,
Yeah.
and we impoverish as a community, as a society,
Hmm.
spiritually, morally, politically, we're bankrupt. But there is something, and poverty, we got to fight it. We know it will be here until Christ comes. But there is something that we can do. We can overcome and eliminate hunger. That,
Okay.
in fact, I believe it is immoral to not eliminate hunger
Hmm.
in the world today. We have everything necessary to feed every child, every person in this world. It's immoral to
Hmm.
not do so, and that's where I'm coming from when I'm talking about healthy child
Yeah.
Africa, and that
Yeah.
it's a time for us to begin feeding our kids. I remember growing up and sometimes just going and going to, in the side of a road when you're so desperate and see the food being sold there, maybe rice and beans. And sometimes, but for 27 cents, you can get that. So that's why
That's
we
amazing. So you're
develop.
saying 27 cents, like a day, you can feed a child in Africa?
No, no, no. I'm saying for a bowl of just rice and beans. It's 27 cents that meal. So if I'm hungry, that's it. So, but imagine this. So our Healthy Child Africa have been just created to be able to address precisely that, and that is, what if you can buy a meal for somebody for 27 cents? But just think about the concept. If we can use it, even though that term, I'm just using it, 27 cents, that means for $27, that's 100 meal.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. You think about, okay, maybe I won't go to the movie this week, and I'll instead, it's not that we can
Yeah.
never go to movies and never eat out, but wow, that small amount makes it very doable. And you're thinking, I can
Yeah.
do that. I can do more than that. So where would people go, say right now, saying, okay, I want to help fight poverty, help fight hunger through what did you call it? Healthy child?
Healthy Child Africa. You go to Bridges of
Okay.
Hope and
Yep.
you just say, feed a child. It's just, and it will take you to the Healthy Child
Yep.
Africa. It's just on there, you can actually provide. It's $100. That's $27.
Yeah.
That's 100 meal. What if in the next 4 months, many of us can decide,
Hmm.
at least it's a campaign right now. I want to feed 1 million. I want to raise 1 million
I love it.
meals in the next 90 days. And that is, if people can actually give us a thousand meal, 10,000 meals, a business can actually help us. And even your channel can actually, it will be good if your channel can give us at least 1,000 meals. It's not that complicated. 27 cents friends a meal, and we get to feed people, and we got to also organize camps for them and help them find. Some of them we work with churches, our partner churches. Sometimes we can have Bible camps, in the summer for them. We can have a moment where people can gather and have fun together and be mentored through life's difficulty. The world is a dangerous and violent place, and I believe we can all make a difference.
Okay, check it out at Bridges of Hope, Healthy Child Africa. There's lots of different views on what causes poverty, kind of what's, the roots of so many of these issues here. How do you see it?
First, I think poverty is a business.
To business?
Yeah,
Okay, what do you mean by that?
I mean exactly. It's a business. It's a profitable business. We gain a lot by keeping other people poor,
Oh, well,
keeping other people dependent, and it's a power move. Sometimes we can end poverty. Well, I want to say we can end hunger, but
mhm,
we can reduce poverty in the life of people. Um, like it's unbelievable. For example, just consider how much grain we pour out in the sea in order to manipulate the prices.
hmm, hmm,
Like just think about that. No, just think in our own street in Lethbridge, in Canada, no one in our city, like basically, no one should be famished.
right, yeah, no, there's lots to go
No one
around,
should
yeah.
be. Just think about it. But barely most Canadian. They said, I don't know if I got my stat right. They say for every dollar we make, most family make, they spent $1.15. That means they don't have it. Like basically it's a system. There is a system, and there is a system that is not kindful, family centered, and I think the world, our politics is really not about empowering people to become self-sufficient. And I believe there's something about our politics, our economy, that keeps a loss of people at bay. Like when I meet people, they all say, "Hey, we just, if you give a man a fish,
Right.
what do you know the saying?
Yeah,
He eat
teach him
for a
how to
day,
fish, right? Give him a fishing rod and so forth, equip
and
him.
and
Yeah,
if you teach him, if you give him if the equipment, he is going to go and he's going to be able to fish for himself. That is actually discussing. That's not true. That's absolutely ridiculous statement. In
okay.
fact,
Why?
most people know how to fish. What most people just don't have access to the fishing pond. They don't have access to a pond. If yeah, I can teach you how to fish, but I can even give you the tool. Yeah,
So
most
how
people
do we
can
get
find
access?
tools.
How do we get access to the fishing pond for people in parts of the world where it's a bit tougher than we have it here?
Yes, and so that's how do we do that? It's by creating opportunity, and that's why at Bridges of Hope, our story and our organization focuses on creating opportunity for all, and that is hear this. In this country, we can go and borrow a little bit of money and do
Hmm.
business, but around the world, for most people, they do not have access to capital.
Right.
If they do have access to capital, the fees and the interest rate is unbelievable. It's immoral.
Hmm.
It is. It's not 10%. Sometimes it's 20, 30,
Yeah.
40, 60%. That's immoral. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. The whole poverty is a business, and it is working.
Hmm.
And the powerful are feasting on
So
the less powerful.
so how do you approach it then with Bridges of Hope? Are you doing micro loans, that sort of thing, to empower people to start their own businesses?
Absolutely, and
Okay.
that's another opportunity, and so we believe that if we empower women and men to actually start their own business, they become less dependent on the system. They do not need to be colonized. They know how to fish. They know how to do it. And to empower them, you can provide them a microloan. They pay back, and you don't have to charge 68%. You can charge 10%. So if today, if you can loan our organization, say, $1 million, I'll pay it back.
Interesting. Wow.
We will loan it.
Okay.
We'll give it as loan to people, and they will start business, and they will pay you back.
So you're seeing this take place. This is happening in nations like Burkina Faso, for where you're from.
You think about this. We believe in using opportunity to combat poverty, to actually, as a strategy. What we do, we say hope is not a strategy. You need to create opportunity. And so one of the things we do with microloan, help people network and partner with those agencies to be able to go ahead. That's important. When business thrives, you know what? The whole community thrives. If you go, even churches thrive. You have interest to start a business. You cannot just be telling people tithe, bring your tithe and offering. Well, most people, they have no business. They have no way of bringing income. And so people are preaching the prosperity gospel. You know what? Just help them start a business.
And that's just really, really practical, Yeah, I think there's biblical truth in that. And I'm up against the clock right now. I'm sorry, Daniel, but I want to steer people to your website here. So thanks for sharing what you did here, Daniel. Dr. Daniel Zopoula, our guest here again, president of Bridges of Hope. And I do encourage you to check out their website. You'll find a whole bunch of opportunities there for you to give an opportunity to somebody. bridgesofhope.ca. I'm Paul Arthur, and on behalf of all of us at Bridge City News, thanks for watching.